Settle in and grab a book, a comfy chair, your favorite nook with Kate and Court. Yeah, it's the Cozy Corner.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to Kate and Court's Cozy Corner Romance Readers. We're so excited to have you with us again today.
Yes.
And if you haven't been joining us regularly for the last little while, we'll just do a little recap. We're a couple of best friends. We met on a movie set. We actually met filming a Lifetime Christmas movie
Yes.
called Four Christmases and a Wedding. Was that it?
Yes. Yeah. Four
Yeah.
Christmases and a Wedding, so that it was
Because
different
it's a
than the
play
Reese
on Four
Witherspoon
Christmases
movie.
and a Funeral.
Yes, it was Four Christmases and a Wedding, and it did end in a wedding. So yes, I'm going to say that is correct.
It's not the play is not on the Reese Witherspoon movie. The original
No,
movie
I
is
was
the
saying
Hugh
that's
Grant
what-
one.
No, but that's the difference of the title because the Reese Witherspoon movie was just called Four Christmases, so people got
Oh yes,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and that one too. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
listen, we met on a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Christmas is coming.
A romance
I'm sure you
Christmas
can
movie.
Find it.
Yes. Yeah, it's coming. I'm sure it'll be playing soon. Four Christmases and a
playing soon.
wedding. Yes.
Tune in. You can see the movie that Court and I met on. Anyways, so we met there and then became best friends, and we're writing a book together right now, and we've written a show together and stuff like that. And then we started this podcast because Court was getting me to read all of these romance and romantasy books, and I hadn't really delved into this genre. I had ignored it.
Yes.
Like I pushed it aside, like so many other people, as just being, kind of silly. And now I'm in deep. I don't think it's silly anymore. I think it's where the party is, and everyone is totally missing out if you're not playing in this sandbox.
It's just why wouldn't you is what I say. Problem like Kate we were both always been big readers. We both always shared books and talked about books, but Kate read much more on like the English literary side, much more into that fiction world, series and nonfiction. And then I was like, but Kate, your life is going to be so much better. Come on in. Use reading to escape. Go into like a fun reality.
Yeah.
Not a fantasy reality, not just a sad one. No, who has time for that? We don't need that. We need spice. We need romance. We need fairies and big cocks.
Yeah.
We need that world.
Yes. Amazing. Line of the episode. We need fairies and big cocks. Which brings us to the book we're talking about today.
I mean, really, Callie Hart should just be how she pitches Quicksilver to people.
Yeah, totally.
Faye. Faye is the word. Nope, I lost
Faye.
Quicksilver.
That's okay.
Yes, Faye. Because fairy, you read it, but honestly, when you read it as Faye, it just sounds better.
It's hotter.
Because everyone keeps thinking we're reading, they'll be like, fairy porn. And go, no, listen, you don't get it. Faye is a very sexy type of male and female, as they call them. They're not men. They are males. They are built. They are muscular. They are tall. And generally, as I said, they have big cocks. So, and healing abilities. They can heal, usually, them and their bodies. So you can do whatever the fuck you want in the bedroom and walk around the next day.
Exactly. You can take that big
It doesn't
cock.
get better than that. You can take more than one. You could just go and have no repercussions.
The great memories.
No recovery time. Yeah.
Just.
From big skating to Quicksilver, just took a really quickly.
Dove
No
in.
slow burn here. Just hard launched into the spicy romantasy. Yes. So Quicksilver, if you haven't read it, it's about a character named Saris and Kingfisher. Saris is this woman that lives in like this desert city on the outside of like in a poor desert city, essentially. And she steals a gauntlet from a guard, like a gold and metal gauntlet. And her brother takes it from her and gets caught, gets arrested. She fights off the guards. They bring her into the palace, of course. And when they are talking to her in the palace, the queen is like, "Who taught you how to fight? How do you know how to fight?" Because she knows how to fight beyond her abilities that she should, but she's always been taught because her
Mhm.
mom used to keep people in the resistance, like used to come and stay with them and go, and they all taught her how to fight. She is being interrogated by the queen, who's like, "Was it Fae?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? Fae aren't real." And she's like, the
Mhm.
queen is just like, "No, Fae must have taught you. There's only one way for you to learn this." And she's like, "Fae are like what we were told about in story time nightmares to like keep us in line." And there's a sword and a stone kind of thing. And she goes, of course, there's and grabs the sword. And the guard that's trying to kill her is like, "No, no, don't take it out. Don't take it out." She pulls it out. It activates this pool of silver. She basically accidentally opens this realm of Quicksilver that has been kept solid for years and years and years. She opens it up. The guard tries to kill her. Out pops Kingfisher, our main male character, takes one look at her and is like, "Fuck's sakes." Like pissed. Like I'm joking that the woman that opened this pool, the sword is this like sawed in half human that's dying.
Yeah.
Like through a heavy sigh, picks her up, lets the other guy die who's like screaming about something taking over his mind, and he's like, "It's too late. Sorry, you're dead." Takes Sarah's, jumps to the Quicksilver pool, and all of a sudden she wakes up in this world of Fae.
Mhm.
That's where it like starts before we go into
Mhm.
spoilers. So we can just talk about it a little bit first and then we can go into more spoilers of it. But
Yeah.
essentially it's about her adapting to that world. She learns she's an alchemist. And same thing with alchemize, but she can manipulate the Quicksilver. And she's the most powerful alchemist actually that's ever been recorded. So they're like, somewhere down the line you must have had Fae in your family line that slowly
Yeah.
was gone away. But you can do this. So she can work the Quicksilver, which is the pool, the realm that she had accidentally opened. That's
Mhm.
essentially what it is. And it's her figuring out what's going on in this world with Kingfisher and with a couple other characters that come into play.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
start it, before we go into spoilers.
Yeah. To start. Okay. So, and then also before we go into spoilers, what's really cool in this book and what I love, and if you've been listening to us for a while, you understand that, you know, there's a lot of times where we're like, how are you saying this name? How are you saying that name?
Yes. Yes.
And this one is really fun because it has a pronunciation guide, which I
Yes.
love.
Yes. A
So,
lot of
like,
romantasies do that. They will have the pronunciation guide.
yeah,
But
which
you have
is
to remember to
so
read it.
you have to remember to read it, but it's cool. I quickly looked at it and I was like, okay, they're all basically like if I were to phonetically sound it out, they're written that way, which
Right.
works great. But that's not always the case, right? And so then
Mhm.
there's been times where I've read a whole book series and pronounced the main character's
Um,
name wrong in my
I think
head.
I still do. I think I still
Yeah.
have characters that I don't know their names. I can't even imagine how
Yeah.
you actually pronounce half the names in Fourth Wing. I'm sure it's wrong in my head, but that's okay because
Yeah.
I'm the only one that has to hear it. So
You're the only exactly. Which so it's like not that big of a deal. I was telling Court because I was like, oh, I want to talk about like pronunciation of things. And I was telling her, I was in college as an English lit major and like reading aloud, you know, a paragraph or whatever in a seminar. And that's when I learned that colonel. No, it's colonel. I was like mortified, but then recovered very quickly because it was college. If it was high school, I probably would have like still be mortified. But I was like, oh, good to know. Hooked on phonics works for me.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I don't think
But
you're the
it's
only one. A lot of like it's
no, there's no way. And it's really cute now because my son's a
no.
big reader and he'll read, you know, sometimes he'll read like a book to me or a page or two or something, and I'll hear him say a word a certain way. And I'm like, that's not how you say that, buddy. This is how you say it. And I'm like, do you know what that means? And he kind of does, but not really. And I'm like, it's so cute because you realize like books or so yeah, that you would be reading along, you'd be like, oh, I totally know what's going on here. And then, you know, like a year or two later, you'll have a little more knowledge. And you're like, I gotta go back to that because I definitely missed like a major
Right. What
story
that
point
meant.
because I thought that word meant something that it didn't. Really changed the entire meaning of the story. But it's nice that is here in this book. It's very helpful.
Yes.
And so I think that's pretty cool. And then when I started reading this book, I was like, oh, this is pretty fun right away. Although I would say right away when because she's in the third.
Yeah.
You know, she's in that desert world. And I was reading along and I was like, I need some water.
It does make you thirsty. I completely agree. So water is like rationed to the people in the third. There's like the main palace city where the queen lives. Then there's like where after the guards and some families live on these skirts. And then the third is like the poorest of the poor. They are only rationed water from the wastewater that runs out from the palace. Like it gets a grate to filter it. And then that's all they get. They get like 6 ounces for the day or something. There's no food. Like they're the poorest of the poor. They've been quarantined off. They have to steal for everything to survive. Which is where in romantasy, I have to say, there is that general trope happens of a woman, a girl.
They say this is
living
a trope,
in a
isn't it?
horrible
This isn't the
dystopia
first time.
world, and then needs to gain access, somehow gains access to like the palace or another world, and like comes into their power. That's a common thing that happens in romantasies. And this one's no different. She is in this very poor world. It does make you thirsty. It sounds awful. And it is awful, but you meet a couple of fun characters. You meet her brother, you meet she's been working with like a blacksmith type of person, a metalist, since she was
Elroy. He's kind of like a father figure,
and has been teaching her. She's been learning how to do like, is it blacksmith or glasswork? All of the above. Like she works with a forge, a blacksmith, so she knows how to work metal, and she's always known she has like a weird connection to metal. She's manipulated them before, but no one's ever told her why it is or explained. She's always just kept it to herself as a secret because she knew if anyone
or like
found
done it
out
as
she
a
had
little
any kind of
party
magic.
trick. Yeah, but not like a thing.
No, not a thing. We meet this guy Carrion that is playing cards with her brother, taking all of her brother's money, and we find out she's had like sex with him at some point before.
Which
he's
is
attractive,
interesting.
is great. It was fun, but it was an early like, hey.
It was before, but it gives you a little hit, a little teeny hit of spice like right away. You know, it's
definitely. And the vibe of it was just cool. It was just like two consenting adults just had a good time. And then he wants more. Just like, no, that was once. We are moving on.
I can't believe I let that happen.
Drunk and hot
it was
guy.
cool. You know. Whoops. But no, that was like an interesting start to the book. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like I'm into this world. And then you knew something weird is up with the queen, with Madras, because you're like, well, how is she reigning for like 1,000 years, but she's human and she's not aging. I was like, okay. But then she's just managed to like repress everybody so much and maintain such like intense control over things that nobody asks questions, right?
Yes.
So that's interesting to me. I was like, okay, what's happening here? And then I loved the sword in the stone moment. I was like,
I loved it. Yes, it's so great that of course she is the one that was able to pull it out and turn the key. And the guard's like yelling like, don't turn the key, don't do it. And she's like, dude, you're going to kill me. Of course I'm going to grab this sword.
She's like, why not? I'm half dead anyways. Like, there's really no reason for me not to at this point, you know?
Yeah. And she does. And and then she manages to like fend him off. She manages to melt his weapon because if she finds out it had Quicksilver in it, so it turns against him and his sword essentially like melts down and then starts attacking his body.
And that's because
when he starts like screaming and going insane. He's like, I can hear them, they're yelling at me.
But that's also like she doesn't really
talks to you.
Yeah, she doesn't really do that on purpose though. She's kind of so desperate.
No, she doesn't know how to control
she's dying that she just sort of like she's like and she's like freaked out too. She's having that moment where she's like, oh, I'm, controlling this. And so that was really fun. I think from here on we're gonna have spoilers. I don't think we can go any further without spoilers now. So
now we're diving into spoilers.
Yeah. If you don't want spoilers, read this book. And it's fun. This is really
you should read it anyways. It's a great one. And now the sequel to it is coming out in a couple weeks, November 18th. Yes. Kate got lucky. She just read this book. I have been waiting like so many of you for a couple of years of it coming out. It was self-published, so then the sequel was supposed to come out sooner, and then it got picked up, which is what keeps happening with so many great romantasies, which we're happy for the authors about. But it makes it so you're waiting so long for those sequels. This one's finally coming out November 18th. I cannot wait. So excited.
I am so so excited, and I am so happy that I got lucky enough to have just read this now, so that I'm like, the next book comes out and I get to read it right away.
Yes.
Because I really enjoyed this. And what I love about this book is it is fun. It's like, it's an adventure, but I was reading it and I was like, oh, it's kind of like, Tolkien versus C.S. Lewis. This one is like C.S. Lewis level. Like it's to say, The Hobbit versus Narnia.
Okay.
Like The Hobbit
I've not read
and
either of those.
Lord of
but
the Rings.
Tell me.
They have like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Tolkien. He has like tons of detail. Like it just like, and there's world on world, and like it's very complex and super deep and extremely layered. And then C.S. Lewis, his is more kind of just like on the surface and pretty basic. And he doesn't give tons of details about each thing. He's like, no, they can just like figure it out. And they were actually really good friends. And they encouraged each other's writing and worked together. And they had a little like group, the two of them and some other friends of theirs at Oxford, and they would like meet up and like share stories and like give one another feedback and meet up at the pub. It was actually really very cool. But they had different approaches to fantasy. And like different ideas on how much detail you have to give. And so like this one, where I say this feels more like a C.S. Lewis, is that it's got details and everything like that, but it's not like so deep that you're like, okay, and you're just like drawn into this thing and it's like taking you a long time.
Yes.
This is like fun. Like really,
it drops you into the world, but
really,
you figure it out quick.
it
what's
drops you in fast.
happening.
It knows that you can figure it out fast, and it's like kind of simple on the
Sorry.
surface, but like bless you, but like super fun.
Yes.
It's just really, really, really fun. It's not a hard read, but it's also not like so easy that you're like, ugh,
No, and I mean,
what's
Callie
fun on
Hart, this was her debut book. She was a big romance reader herself, cat lover. Like it seems from everything I've read about her, like she is the type of person that would have just been reading along all these books with us and into it, and then just wrote her own world of it. And so it very much follows like an easy read romantasy, but gives you the escape you're looking for. And with fun
this is a party.
characters. Like
this is a party. Like this book is
got the morally gray. It's a morally gray main male character in Kingfisher. It's got that slow burn enemies to lovers. And then it has the really fun side characters like Carrion. So basically, catch you up. She comes through. She's in this castle. This girl, Everlane, is like taking care of her, helping her. And she's like, you've got to come see my father, the king. You've got to come before him. We'll get you dressed back, whatever. Goes there. The king is like, you are an alchemist. You need to be here and activate the Quicksilver. You have 1 week, and then I'm sending you home, basically.
And Sarah's is like, time out, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I have no idea. And he's like, nope, you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to kill you. And you get 1 week. And then he's like, bring in the dog. And the dog is Kingfisher, the guy that pulled her out of the pool. And he's losing his mind and like fighting the guards, and they can't keep him down. And the king is basically trying to kill him. And she sees Lane getting upset beside her and is like, no, we can't let him kill him. Please save him. And an oracle steps forward and is like, he needs to live for your kingdom, not to perish, blah, blah, blah. The king believes her, says to Kingfisher, okay, you have a week to help her with the Quicksilver. She's under guard. And then otherwise I'm killing you and both of you, basically, and sending you off. So the king sets them up so that they're working together in the forge. And Kingfisher is very standoffish with her at this point. Like, he calls her human and Oksha, and little Oksha won't say her name, and basically just like tries to intimidate her or just make her hate him as best he can. That's kind of the vibe that's going on. He's kind of mean to her, putting her down, isn't super helpful, has her like cleaning the forge by hand when really he can just snap his fingers and clean the whole thing. Like, and she, the first night, escapes, makes a deal with him. He finds her at the Quicksilver pool. She's trying to activate it and go back to her home. All she wants to do is get back to her brother. She's worried about her brother in Ward 3, that he's going to be killed by the queen because the queen threatened her that she's going to kill her brother for the treason that she committed.
That happens a lot in these books, that we're worried about a sibling that's not gone, that hasn't gone through into this
Parents
new world
dead,
with us.
Sibling
right?
is there's always something, sibling or best friend that's like a sibling. There's always something that's pulling you back to want to get home. That's always on like the hero's
Yeah.
journey is trying to get home.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, okay, I'll go find your brother. I'll step through the Quicksilver. So when you go through Quicksilver, as a rule in this world, like it generally will kill you, but Kingfisher has some Quicksilver in him already, and he wears this like pendant that protects him that allows him to cross.
You have
through
to
the
have a
Quicksilver.
relic that allows you to
have to
go
have the
through.
relic.
Yeah.
So he goes through, comes back, drops a guy at her feet, and she's looking, and she's like, "That's not my
It's
brother."
not my
He's like,
brother.
"Yes, it is." I said, "Are you Hayden?" And he said, "Yes, this is your brother." She's like, "That's Carrie and fucking Swift." Like, what do you mean? That's right. He's like, "Well, I can't go back. Like, this was a one-time deal. This is it." And she had made a blood oath with him. If he tried to get her brother, she would do whatever he said and make the relics.
Mhm.
And so she is now stuck to do anything. He can command her will if he wants to.
And
because he tried to
feel
get his
like
brother.
There's two things happening here. A, the Carrie and Swift, that was like, that was a twist I did not see coming.
Yeah,
That was a delightful
so fun.
surprise.
And he's a delight through the whole story. Like, he's such a nice
He's a party.
voice that comes through.
Yeah.
It's so great.
He's hilarious. He's very much so like the funny guy, you know, funny sidekick guy. And then the blood oath thing that she does with him, and I'm like, dude, fairy tale lore 101, like don't eat the food and don't make a blood oath. And she's like,
they're always
just
specific
immediately.
in every romantasy. Like, the wording of your oaths with a fae is always trapping you somehow. It's always,
but that's not just like, that's like from
everything.
fairy tales and folklore, like forever.
Yes,
that's
forever.
You know,
that's just a rule.
Sort of I think probably set out to like teach you as you grow to like be careful about what kind of contracts you sign with anyone ever, right? Like read the fine print. It's like,
don't get manipulated.
Yeah. But so that was really fun. And then so you know, and like Carrie comes through, and now they have this whole battle, right? They're gotta save the world. I love the second twist we get with Carrion at the end.
Oh, I know. Oh, he turns out he's like in the royal line of fae. Like, a whole bunch happens in this book.
And so much, but no,
like,
but like
by the time I get to this, but him, like, my favorite Carrion line is they're going to find witches to help them do the spell because Lane's been turned to a vampire and they need to try to change her back. And side note, and Carrion, they're like, he can't come because they'll probably try to sleep with a witch. And one of the guys like, he tried to sleep. I guess they're like old hags. He's like, he would not try to sleep with a witch. And he's like, I probably would, just to say that I did. Like, you're right. I shouldn't go. The guys that can just never say no. Like,
oh my gosh. And like, and when he came through at first and it was him, I was like, oh no. You know, like I kind of had the reaction she did of like, we're going to be stuck with this guy, you know, for this look. And then now that I've made it through the end, I'm like, I am so glad we have him along with us the whole time.
He was amazing. And he was the perfect thing to enact the jealousy with Kingfisher. Like, that he was doing so weird. So as the reader, we knew he was jealous, but like Sarah didn't quite know yet, but we got to see it and see the reactions. There's nothing the thing of like the jaw tick or the clench. And I can't even tell you what a jaw click looks like, but when I read it, it makes sense to me. Like when I read the jaw tick and I see it, but I don't see it in daytime. Like, I've had plenty of fights with my partner or jealous things that I'm not seeing like the jaw tick happen, but it happens in every main male character in books. Every time
the jaw
they get
tick is like a more subtle, and sometimes they don't know, and like depends on like how hot-headed your guy is or whatever. Like from Brad, I know what the jaw tick looks like.
It's just always,
you know,
like, and the clenched fist I get, but yes, those two things, and you're like, oh, he's into her. That is the telltale side in these books.
Well,
and okay,
the whole
so
reason he found Carrion. We're going spice level.
Okay,
well, the whole reason he found
Carrion
is because of because she had slept with him. So like,
yes, and he could smell her on him still, even though it was months later. Because he was looking for her brother. The only thing he had to go by to find her brother was her blood, because he's like, he has the same blood as you. I'll use that to smell and find him. But that an hour before that, she had been basically rubbing all over his lap to try to distract him to steal his ring relic. And so he had that scent of her on him as well. And the smell he picked up on Carrion was the scent of her sex. And he didn't realize it at the time because there was so much going on.
Yeah.
Well,
He was in a
guard
battle the
setting.
whole time.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have time.
So he just recognized a scent, didn't know why, brought him back. And then he realized the next day when he saw them interacting and Carrion talked about her still being obsessed with him, he realized what it was.
It was so good.
And there's a funny scene that he like had convinced Carrion was missing a boot and he gave him a new pair of boots as long as he would take a bath. And that was like his thing to Carrion because he just needed him to stop smelling like that. And he's like, these like the water sprites, they had this moss thing and they were really scrubbing me everywhere, especially giving attention to like indicating his dick with this green moss. They kept saying that like women that are like sex workers love it to get rid of the smell of other lovers. Like, I don't know why.
Yes. It was great. That was one of the things, I think that's one of the things in this book that was so fun. There's a level of humor through Carrion and then through some of these other little characters. I like that, like so delightful. The fire sprites, Archer. Oh, he has my heart. I love him so much.
Him. Yes, I love Archer. And I mean, I think you have to, when you have such a strong main male character, like such a dark, morally gray main male character, you need the light in the other parts. And she does that very well. She balances that out very well.
That's what makes this one fun. And it kind of stands out in a different ways because you get so much more like fun and humor through all these like, and, like cute little bits. And I was like, and it really worked. And it was really fun. And I was like, oh, I love this. I love this world.
Yes, I do too.
Riot.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
You get to actually like fall for all of the friends. Like you feel like you're in the friend group in this book, which is so great.
You really do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really do, which is very, very cool. And like Lorith is such a cool character.
Yeah.
You know, he's such a stand-up guy, like the good, you know, best friend of the main guy. And it's interesting, you know, that Kingfisher, he's this morally gray. Because the whole time, almost from jump, you can tell that he likes her. You know, like
And he explains later he knew as soon as he saw her there. It's not like that she was his mate. She was his fated mate. That his mom had told him about from a young age that she was going to come into his life at some point. Had drawn pictures of her, and so as soon as he actually saw her face, he knew who she was, and he felt the bond. And then he fought it, which I have to say, a couple of times at first were like, oh, you know, they're not telling them because they're protecting. And across the board in all these books, I'm kind of getting tired of these main male characters deciding for themselves that they're not going to tell the person they're actually having sex with that they're mates. Like, look, in real life, sure, if someone right now walked as I was somehow my fated mate, it would be an awkward conversation that I probably don't want to have. I am married. I have kids. I have that. Like, I think I'm with my mate. But in the world where you are already sleeping with the person, they're already into you, and you decide you're going to keep it to yourself that they are your mate, like, fuck off. No, tell her. She has every right to know. Like, the thing of pretending they're protecting them by not telling them, even though they can always feel it, it's always affecting their emotion and pulls. And they always just like to pretend that it's not happening for the woman's good. Like, no. Let her know. Let her decide what she wants to do about it, what she wants to take on. Like, it happened in Bride. It happened in this one. There's another version I'm just forgetting. But all these men that decide they are going to save the fate of their mate by not telling them they're mated to them, even though they're clearly into them and, like, having mind-blowing orgasms. Like, no, stop. Just
But is that though, does that become, is that like, you know, back when you're dating and you both know, like, you know, you're like, we're obviously like boyfriend, girlfriend, like we're dating. They're like, no, let's not put a label on it. You know, is this the
is the Faye version of let's not put a label on
version
it?
Of like, let's not put a label on it. It feels like that might be
We're
what
not
it
going to
is.
label
And then
it.
we're not going to label it. And then are they doing that and they're saying it's to protect her, but is it probably, it's probably really to protect themselves?
I don't know.
From,
I don't
like, it being
in
that
those
serious?
stories, it didn't seem like it. It seemed like
I
it
know.
was them pretending, being a martyr, doing something noble by not wanting to, like, tie them down by being their mate, which I also never understand that. Like, I mean, it is a classic guy move, I think, to think that
Mhm.
somehow not telling them would not tie them down as opposed to one that just has emotions and knows their feelings and would feel
Yeah.
it regardless. Like,
Yeah.
as if you tell someone you're sleeping with them, but like, okay, but no feelings, no God, that a
Yeah.
woman's just be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll turn
Cool.
that off. Like, no,
Mhm.
we
It's just a
feel
switch
it.
right here. Let me just
Yeah, just touch back there. Okay, cool. Ready for this. No. Like,
doesn't work that way.
it doesn't. And even if he didn't tell her what the tattoos had meant and what the mating bond was, she still felt all those things. It just helped her
Yeah.
not feel insane about it. Like,
Yes.
that's the point. Just trust them. Trust them. They can handle it. And they're going to
Mhm.
feel it regardless. Like with this one with him, I was just like, why did he keep when she's like the tattoos and we're figuring it out, and he's like, don't they mean something, but he was so vague about it. I'm like, come
He
on.
was
Like,
so vague for so long. And that, I guess that's where, like, yeah, he is that, like, morally gray, where it is kind of like, okay, your friends are making you look good here now, like Ren and Lorith, but, like, you're
yeah. Well, and
you're not
morally
looking
gray
great.
is also like they are a good guy to the person, the female main character that they love or main male character they
Mm,
love, but they're not necessarily always going to be the good guy to the rest of the world. That's kind of, and
right.
I mean, it does actually come up by the end, like he does have a big heart and actually cares about people and do it, but he still would kill anyone, would do anything for Zaris without even thinking about it. Like it's never
Yeah.
innocent or not.
Yeah.
That's his. So he's on that morally gray vibe because you're like, he is a good person to her, but not the rest of the world. Like an alchemized kid is like the extreme version of a morally
That's the
gray. Like
extreme
literally,
version.
yes, no
Yeah.
one but his wife and daughter
Yeah.
exist as human beings to him. But yeah, it's,
Yeah. This one, he's a little bit more like he's been manipulated into being the villain by certain power
yes.
players.
Yeah, and he's literally gone through hell. He's literally like been
Yeah.
put in the worst positions, done all of this with people he loves. He's bounded by a note that he can't actually tell anyone where he disappeared to for 120 years. There's so many things in his way that
Yeah.
when Saris finally like releases him to a degree from a lot of that, like these maiden bonds that happens with him, basically they have super hot, mind-blowing sex, amazing orgasms, and his tattoos from his body like come onto her body and cross, and she
Yeah.
gets these relics on her arms, and she's like, what is this? Like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And he stonewalls her with it. But basically it means they're mated, but it hasn't happened. It's something that's like disappeared genetically over generations, and they're the first ones to have brought it back. Um, and so it's quite amazing and powerful, like what that actually represents for them.
Yeah.
But it's still like there's so much more to explore in that world still, and like why that happened. Like even the
Yes.
way it's kind of explained. Like I'm excited in the second book to see if we go into more depth about that, like how it
Yeah.
actually started disappearing, what it means to them.
Yeah.
It's really the book, like it's almost like two endings. It's like you wrap up this storyline that you've kind of been following with the two of them. They end up defeating Malcolm, the like big bad vampire, and Madge disappears back into her world, and the king with Lane. But then it takes a huge left turn, and you're like, "Whoa, where are we going
Then,
now?"
like when we're hanging out with the gods.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's talking to a god who is like, you and Kingfisher were always meant to be. So he tried to manipulate and fuck with their timeline. And so he sent her to the human realm. She was supposed to be born Fae, but yet they
Yeah.
still ended up together. And he's like, the only way basically I can send you back to be with Kingfisher is if you become something that doesn't exist. So you can get
Yeah.
out of the timeline, and so that we can no longer see you or manipulate you, and the gods can't have any control in your fate. You have to basically take you outside of fate by remaking you into something that doesn't exist, which is a
Yeah.
part fae, part vampire. That's what they send her back as.
Yeah.
So the very end of
Yeah.
the book, she wakes up. She's part fae, part vampire. They have said they don't know what trait she's going to take from which side yet. She's left that open, so we're not sure yet what's going to be vampire, what's going to be not. And then at the very end, Kingfisher comes, talks to her, opens the door, opens the window, and we see that she is living in the world of the vampires now. She's in the castle in the world of the vampires. And he's like, by the way, whoever kills a vampire takes over the throne, and you have a coronation in 2 days. That's essentially where it ends.
Yeah. Killing the like lead vampire guy. So now she's the queen of the vampires. And you're like,
Yeah, like a complete left turn that I did not see coming. This was my reread of it and I forgot when they were like, oh, we'll tell you more about where you are. I forgot. I'm like, where is she? What's going to happen again? Because I read this like a year
Yeah.
ago and now I
Yeah.
reread it for this. And it's done so well. Like, I'm so curious for this book 2 again because I have no idea what that's going to mean, what that's going to look like. Because
None.
the feeders, the vampires have been awful. They're not like nice people or
Okay.
human. Like, they've
But
been brutal,
weirdly,
except for the one.
Teladius, that guy, right? He's
Yeah.
like kind of like
He was like the
so
prince
then
or
you're
second in command, and he's been
yeah.
actually a friend to Kingfisher, even though he's sent there to like torture him. We kind of find
Yeah.
out.
So then you're like, okay, maybe they were all like super bad just because the main big guy, the leader, was
Was
super
awful.
bad.
Yes. Yeah.
So, right? And it's like, oh, what is going to happen? Like, what is this going to look like? Also, I wonder what it's going to look like because remember how Madras had her sterilized like when she was a kid and
Yes. Oh my
how
gosh. And that
Kingfisher was
scene,
like,
that chapter when she's like, so they have sex the first time, and we still have to go in the spice of
yeah,
sex. We haven't even done that yet. We
I
are
know. Oh,
behind
yeah,
here, but
so
it's such a good book. And he's like, we have to go see the healer. And she's like, why? And he's like, because we didn't use protection last night. Like, it's even though it's rare to have a human and
yeah.
fae baby, it still happens. And then she laughs and she's like, oh no, I've been cleansed. I was cleansed when I was 14. He's like, what does that mean? She's like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm sterilized. Every 7 out of 10 girls are sterilized in third
The
ward
third.
where she lived. And he just literally looked at her. He's like, what did you just say to me? Like, he just shuts down. Like, he can't
Yeah.
actually compute. And he's so angry. He doesn't do it to her, but at this point we
Yeah.
can tell there's something for him.
Yeah.
And it's because he knows she's his mate.
Mhm.
And we get a vision of the disgusting world that she grew up in. Like, it's always that in
Yeah.
this, when they're repressing people, they don't want them populating so they can keep them under control.
Mhm.
They are literally sterilizing the women at
Mhm.
7 years old, which is just
Yeah.
ugh, disgusting.
Creepy.
It's
Yeah.
so awful.
Yeah.
Yes. So
But that was wild because then so now I'm like, oh, maybe now it's possible again. I don't know. It's like,
well, maybe because
I was like,
alchemized made a sink, you can just reverse it because the same thing happened.
I know.
in
Is that because I
Alchemized.
just read that, right? But now she's come back as something else. And I'm
Oh,
like, well,
it's true. She has. Maybe everything got healed because she's been
yeah.
reborn, reforged
Yeah.
into this vampire slash fae. So you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
that's not going to be a thing anymore. That's
It'll
probably
be
fixed.
interesting. It'll be interesting
It
to see
will
how that
be.
goes. Okay.
Okay, Kate.
Court.
Kate.
It's time.
The spice.
Spice.
This
How
book
many pumpkins?
had it. I will put this book
Yes.
at a 4. It
Mhm.
got spicy in a very delicious way.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say 4. There's certain parts that you're like, okay, don't want to necessarily be in public reading
Yeah.
this. Yeah, 3
Yeah.
and a half, 4. It gets pretty good, but I think the reason I'm like 3.5 to 4 is because they're like
Mhm.
short spice scenes. Like,
It's
they're
true.
intense, but
I
they're not
agree.
very long. So it's almost
Yeah.
a 3.5. But they're very detailed in a
They're
great way. You're like,
yeah.
it's open door.
Yeah.
The biting, there's this thing with
Ooh.
if they bite inside blood while they're having sex, that it just becomes euphoric and they both will like hallucinate and basically have like the best orgasms of their life. And
Yeah.
this happens.
Yeah.
And it's written very well and a very fun ride.
Very well.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. He's like, bite me. And then he does. And you're like,
I know.
oh.
And then it just
And
keeps
he's
going.
like, and what is the line he says? Oh my God, I should have underlined it or something. But he's like, he basically is like, you won't be able to walk tomorrow.
Oh, yes. He threatens her with that a lot. Like, you will lose your voice. You will not be able to walk with the way I'm going to fuck you. And they do very much fuck every time. It's
Yeah.
mate, it's love, it's everything, but it's also very hardcore fucking as well. It's
Yeah.
the best of both worlds. It's everything
Yeah.
together. And it's the type that, like,
so good.
it's good they can heal after
Yeah.
as well. If
Yeah.
you had to go into battle. But
Right?
it's also so much like attention focused on her, and then they can hear each other in their minds. So like every sensation
that's
and
cool.
feeling they are
is like,
communicating with each other, which just makes it that much hotter
mhm,
when they're doing it. Yeah. It's a good one. And
so
he,
hot.
of course, as I talked about earlier, because he's a female, very well endowed.
Yes.
And she enjoys that very much.
Yep. She's here for it. She's like, okay.
Yeah. We're all
It
here
was
for it.
good. It was really
Yes.
like good, fun, 3.5 to 4. Yeah, I would say it was like a 3.5 to 4. And I think only like I think you nailed it on the head. The reason why it's not like a full blown 4 is just because it's not like drawn out,
Yeah, exactly.
but it definitely
It
hits
definitely goes
level
there. Yeah.
4.
Yeah. It hits to it. But
Yeah.
I'd probably put it at the 3.5 because of how quickly you go through it.
Yeah.
And what's great is they have this banter, like right from the get-go. Her first question when he's like, I am an oath-bound fae, I
Yes.
cannot lie. And she's like, well, every male will lie if you ask them how big their dick is. That's like, and
Yeah.
that when she asked him, he's like, are you asking me about my cock? She's like,
Yeah.
every male. And he said, it's big enough to make you scream my name and not be able to walk, is what he says. And she's like, see, I know you're full of
Yes.
shit. And he's like,
Yeah.
are you asking me to prove it to you?
Right.
Which is
And
amazing.
she's like, no, not right now. And then when it does come, she's like, oh, you weren't lying.
Yeah, he was true. He was an oath-bound fae. Yes.
And that was awesome.
That was awesome.
like,
And also a pretty true statement in terms of guys
yeah.
and men in life. And if you ask
Oh,
them how
yeah.
big their cock is,
Honestly,
or if they're
I
just volunteering the information.
I mean,
so
it's
funny.
funny. It's so funny because, like, I guess if you were just listening to us talk right now about, like, Faye and big dicks and all that stuff, you could see where the guys are like, see, they are obsessed with the size of our dick. And it's like, but not really. Like,
No,
they are
I mean,
so much more obsessed. It's such more
they
of a
are
thing for
way
them.
more obsessed than we are. Listen, it's fun to read,
Yeah.
and it's fun
Yeah.
for the guaranteed, but it's how you
Yeah.
use it. It's
Yeah.
there.
And
There's
if you
definitely a
don't
world
have
if it
Fae
wasn't
magic,
written by someone.
yeah.
Yes, if it wasn't
Also,
a
like,
fae.
if you don't have Fae magic to like heal up and everything, maybe you don't want a baseball bat like every day of the week.
Right?
Like,
There's true repercussions. There's a balance. There's a Goldilocks size.
it really is. It's different for every woman as well.
Yeah,
Like, it's not.
it's true. And you can go, you can just try every chair, see which one's the
Yeah.
most comfortable.
Exactly. Definitely have to test ride. Which, maybe that's what these mated males are doing. They're like, well, I'm giving her a test drive, but I don't fuck her. I'll just kill anybody else that she, goes
Talks
after.
to,
But
or yeah.
oh my God. It's ridiculous. But yeah,
It
he
is.
has enough. He does. Kingfisher, though, he has like these redeeming factors. And then because otherwise, if he was super, super morally gray, then you're like, it's just kind of dark. But then when you realize like that he's kind of been torturing himself, trying to save everyone, and that the king of their world, like Belicon, and he basically took his mom,
Oh, he fully like forced his mom to marry him and have
mhm.
his sister because she was an oracle. Like he killed his
Yeah.
dad, can basically force his mother's hand to come marry him, forced her to have another
Yeah.
child, and then killed her after. Like he is a
Yeah.
horrible person. And it turns out him and Malcolm and Madrid, they're all brothers
Madras.
and sisters. Madrid, they're all like
were like-
running this like hellhole together that they had trapped
Yeah.
Kingfisher in for 110
Yeah.
years. And then he finally got out when Sarah's activated the
Turn the
Quicksilver.
key.
That's how he got out of the labyrinth that he was stuck in. And then at the end of the book, they all end up back in the labyrinth because Kingfisher tries to be a hero to go save his sister and basically leaves everyone behind and goes back to face them and go back in the labyrinth. But this time, Sarah's and Laurent and Carrion all follow him through the portal, and they join him, and they all do it together. And because of Sarah's ability to like get Quicksilver and find the coin that the gods had tricked him with, they are able to escape and also to kill the head vampire.
Yeah.
It's very much redemption. It's the hero storyline, which I'm also, when you read his note that he's just like giving up and gone, you're like, dude, like,
oh, come on already. Like, we
and
know it
also you
takes a
think if you
team.
hadn't told her that she was your mate, she would have been less upset right now. Like, no,
Yeah.
either way,
Either way.
this has upset her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'll just go deal with it on my own. And it's like, that's not the solution.
No, never is. You don't need
never
to
is.
suffer for everyone. It's a team. All suffer
Yeah.
together. Because then at least
Yeah.
you know you tried to do something. You weren't like the what ifs. It helps answer those questions.
Yeah.
But yes, I loved it. I loved the way she did it. I loved the story she took us in terms of the world building and what that world, what the war was, who the villains were, who we were fighting. It takes a while to figure it out, but it's done along with this like awesome romance ride that gets nice and spicy and gets into that good passionate mated sex that we always love to read about. And then it sets us up for a whole new experience for book 2, which I cannot wait for. It's going to be
so excited. Do we know, like, do we know at this point, is it how many books it will be, or?
No, I don't know. I don't know if this finishes it or if it continues. I haven't looked at that because I'm going to read on regardless. So.
Oh, same. I'm just so curious.
Yeah, I don't know if Callie Hart said. We'll know by the time we're reading Brimstone. We'll tell you guys.
Yeah, we'll know when we set up the read along. Which, by the way, we're gonna do. So Brimstone Book 2 by Callie Hart drops November 18th.
Yes.
And we're gonna do it as a read along.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not next week. It's the week after, isn't it?
No, from when we drop this episode, it'll be the next week.
Oh yeah. What time is it? What day is it?
Yes, I know. It's all a blur, which I'm so excited about because my birthday is the day after the 19th and I'll be off. And so I love when this happens that I get to have like a book release right at my birthday. It happens with Iron Flame. And I sometimes be like, I am spending my birthday reading. Thank you. That is my wish. It happened with the Gilmore Girls remake, the revamp when it came out on Netflix. It also fell right on my birthday. And I just love when things coincide so well this way. So I will be spending. I will try my best to stop halfway. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm like, that entire day. We might have to film that day. You're going to have to read very fast on the 18th and 19th. And we might have to film so that I can continue and finish the book. That might be what has to happen.
We can probably make that happen. Because I really want to get like halfway in with you not knowing and be like,
yes,
what?
So we might just have to do a birthday podcast so that I can continue reading.
Amazing. Everyone will get to see me in a total book over state. I'll just have like had to stay up all
night.
For my
birthday this year, Kate is going to stay up all night reading a book. That is.
Oh, she. I can handle that.
Hard to please your friends.
Right? No, that's fun.
If I have to. I know. Completely.
That'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that wraps it up for Quicksilver. Did we cover everything? I mean, we didn't cover everything because there's definitely more, which is fun about this book. Like I said, there's so much here. But it's been interesting talking about it, with the labyrinth and the gods. And like, there's a lot of classical mythology things going on here, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's a great,
it's
a great debut. What's interesting? I actually saw a clip of her before we recorded this because they re-released a special edition of the book like 2 months ago at the end of August. And she changed the cover. And the cover is now like black and it has silver sprayed edge and it's just the name Quicksilver and her name. And that's the design Brimstone's going with. And people have been talking about it a lot about changing the cover. And it turns out what she had said is that she was basically bullied a bunch for the original cover. Like people just came at her for the one she made. And they were saying it was AI and other things, but she created it. And I guess they just didn't like the look that she gave Kingfisher or the thing of the world. And so she was hit hard about it. But then on the flip side, like double-edged sword, she changed the cover for the special edition release, the hardcover special edition. And then she got people saying like, I will not read it now because you changed the cover or they're mad about it. And then other people that are like, I never would have picked up this book if it had been the original cover. I don't know. I know what people's
What?
problem are. Here's the thing. I love this book. I love it with the OG cover. I love the
Yeah.
new cover. I will read whatever cover Callie Hart fucking wants because I love her books. And I think
Yeah.
all of you should too. And
It's, well,
also
don't
get
judge a book
over it
by
if
its
you care that
cover.
much about a book. I mean, there's like people put work into covers. There's a world
Yeah.
that I'm like a little bit judge it, but to say you don't like a story because of a cover
Because of the
or you
cover?
won't
No.
read it,
Yeah.
no. That's
Like, I didn't
like,
love the cover of Bride, but I still read it.
no,
And then I
those ones have
loved the
never been my
book.
favorite, but
Yeah.
so good.
But the books are so great.
So great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also don't bully the authors about it.
No,
Like, a lot of
that's
thoughts
not
and decisions go
okay.
into it. That's not, you think whatever you want in your head and come up with the images you want. And that's great.
You can have,
See the characters. That's
you
why we
can have
read.
like an opinion, but like I think there's a danger in putting too much negativity and negative opinions and negative ideas out there, especially if you're not offering,
Yes.
you know, like critique where maybe you're just sort of discussing ideas of things and having like a real conversation in a sense of like appreciating what somebody has put their work into.
Yeah.
But then it's very different if you're just there to tear it down, like what, for like clickbait? I don't know. That's not fun.
No. And also, like, I hate to break it to you all, she created these characters. They are
Yeah.
what they are in her head is the true. And then
Yeah.
you can change it. You can picture whatever you want. That's the beautiful part of reading and imagination. But
Yes.
it's hers. Like she
Yeah.
literally created them. It's why I have no interest in Fourth Ring as a series. I know you haven't read it yet. Can't wait to go down this road with you in the new year,
I'm
like
so
we're going
excited.
to do. But I'm like, you can't cast these characters. Like there's no way anyone could actually cast someone of Zayden in my head. Like it just doesn't, it's not going to work. And I feel bad for whoever
No.
they try to because they are going to get hit with so much backlash.
You just have to see
Like,
it. You have to separate it. It has to be a
It's
separate
not the same thing.
It
Yeah,
can't even
it
be
can't
about
be.
the book. It's got to be a separate thing. Like I
Yeah.
learned that years ago with books and movies and shows and everything.
Yeah, they
and
have
I remember
to be separate.
the most terrified I ever was when they were doing Lord of the Rings. And I was like, that's not possible. It's like,
Right.
it's going to be so bad. There's no way. And I was like, I won't even watch it. I'm not even going to watch it. Now, of course, I rewatch it like all the time because they absolutely crushed. I can't believe the incredible job that they did. Still blows my mind. But, you know, you just never know. And so often it's not. And so I remember like when I was like, I think it was in my teen years, my mom was like, just treat it as two separate entities. Like don't pretend like the book and the movie, they're not the same thing. They maybe are coming from the same sort of story source, but just you can't because you get so much more detail.
Yes.
There's so much disappointment because you lose so much detail in TV and film because they don't have the length of time, you know, that they need. Like
and you're
there's a
not
whole
in their head.
storyline.
That's the part. You can't communicate what's in their head the same way you can. My first experience of that was with otherwise known as Sheila the Great, the Judy Blume book, which I loved that book in grade 1 or 2. And then I think it was my grade 3 class we watched. There was a movie of otherwise known as Sheila the Great. I'm sure it was like a TV movie. And I was so excited to watch it. And then I was so disappointed. That was my first feeling of like, oh, the book was so much better because of what I had made the world. And it's a hard lesson to learn, but the book's
really
always better. And then you have
better.
to learn how to separate. You need time. Like you need, same with all the Jenny Han ones, like her To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I love the movies. They are so cute. I mean, I think Noah Centineo. I'm bad with names, guys. Not my thing.
I know, same.
He is probably for me like the best casting of a book character. Like his casting as Peter.
Casting. Yes.
Amazing. That's probably the best job I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, the movie still, if you read the books, the movies became disappointing. Like if you just watch the movies, fantastic. If you read the books, fantastic. But if you compare them, it doesn't work. I had watched the first movie, then read the books, and then watched the others. And I had felt like a little disappointed because I love the book so much. And then a year or two later, I went back and I watched the films and it had been a while since I'd read. And then I loved them. I was like, oh, I'm in. You need separation. This was just a big rant about a topic not on the book, but valid for all romance and romantasy readers. Because what you make, that's the fun of escaping in these books, is you can picture these lead characters. You can picture the world. You can have those moments. And when we always say reading these books helps our husband, like for me, a lot of the time, that's who I'm picturing. And it's bringing me back to moments with him and little snippets. I'm like, oh yeah, we did do this. We did have these things. And it just like refreshes it and resets it in your brain, which is so fantastic. And if you're not in a relationship, it gives you the hope in the world to like dream that up for yourself. It's like Taylor Swift songs in a book. It's just, that's what works. And it's a great place to escape and enjoy and let all that stuff free. And if you don't like the cover, just don't like the cover, but read the book.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's a classic saying for a reason.
Yes, and Kate happens to have the perfect tattoos for this book also, by the way, from her Halloween costume. The leftover. It's even on your arm. You even have like a relic on your arm. That's amazing.
Right? And they were all over my hands for Halloween too, which was really fun. And I had like a full neck snake tattoo because I was Medusa. And I was like,
you're a Medusa. Nice.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, do I want a neck tattoo?
No, you don't.
I don't.
No,
I don't. But I do think I want something like on my hand, like kind of like wrapping around. So I have like the wrist, and I was like, oh, there's something really fun about like. And then I was thinking of like, you know, the classic like henna that's done and everything. I was like, there's something fun about tattoos on the hands. I don't know.
Maybe test drive it with henna because it lasts for a while. Let's test drive the full hand tattoo. And then
I wouldn't do something full. I would do like something slight fine line.
I do know right here is painful. It's like the nerves. I have friends that have ones here and wears off kind of easily, but it would suit you. I mean, you could pull off anything. It would all work, whatever you want. But I was saying maybe test drive.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, it's really fun. And then I was like, okay, danger. Like maybe I've gone too deep into the book.
It's true. The book may be influencing your tattoo choices.
Right?
We came out wanting water and tattoos. That was
we really got into it. Oh, and there's a playlist for Quicksilver out there as well. I'll put it in the show notes.
Did you listen to it?
It's fun. Of course I did. I start every new book. I look for the playlist and then I start the book listening to it and I like really get immersed. And then I have to turn it off so then I can like, you know, just focus on reading because my focus gets split a little bit sometimes. But I love it. It's like my first thing I do.
Maybe I'll start listening to it before we record so I can be in that mode of that book.
Yeah.
I'll try to do it that way.
So good. They really are a blast. All right. Well, if you want to have a good time and just like, you know, totally leave reality for a bit, highly recommend Quicksilver. It is a blast. It's
a super fun romantasy.
Yeah. With some humor.
With humor. And it's also a great, like, if similar to like Diabound and Fourth Wing and those ones, if you've been a big romance reader and you're looking to dive into romantasy, it's a great one to dive in with. It's a gentle pull.
Yeah.
And get you into that world where if you think of it right now as very porn, it will just very much take that notion away from you. And then you'll just think of it as hot, spicy romantasy. As you should. I want everyone to come live in this world. It's fun.
Right. It is. It's a blast. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Kate and Court's Cozy Corner. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Settle in and grab a book, a comfy chair, your favorite nook with Kate and Court. Yeah, it's the Cozy Corner.
Executive producers and hosts, Courtney Richter and Caitlin Stryker. Producer, Kanasia No. Original music, Cassie DeSilva.